right. Shalawama, shalawama. Assalamu alaikum. Islam to all the Moors. Hold on, y'all. Let me make sure the signal is working. Give me 1 second here. What's the deal? All right. So I'm trying to see if my signal is working, and I guess y'all see that ain't nothing happening. Y'all see that? I don't know if this is a real technical issue or what. All right, here we go. So let's see. 1 moment, y'all. Mic check, mic check. Mic check. All right. All right, we're good. All right, so the signal is working. So welcome to the free Astro Theology course. I am Dr. Yasapa from Zion Law School. All right, so we're still in the Astrology of the Old Testament, or the Lost Word Regained, published in 1892, and the author is Carl Anderson. All right, so we're still here. Last session, last class, we went through the prefix, and we learned that this author is indeed a Freemason, and that this book is written to Freemasons and other secret society members. This book initially was not, so it is not, because it's not the author's intent to be circulated in the general public. So this would be for what? The inner house that JC spoke about in his prophecy when asked, why does he always speak to the people in parables? Right? Okay, so let's pick it back up. Scholars, we're in chapter 13. Give me 1 moment. On page 100 and, is it 50, y'all? When I sit in the when I'm in an air-conditioned room for too long, I get upper respiratory symptoms. That's why I'm sniffling. So y'all, please excuse me. But we're gonna make it do what it do, even though. All right. So yeah, we're on page 151. So this is what I wanted to say. I this morning it came to me that I need to let you all know, scholars, that this chapter we are talking about the zodiac signs, how they affect your physical features, right? Height, thin, stocky, big nose, hair color, complexion, also personality. And in previous chapters, we talked about, well, the author brought to our attention how the constellations or heavenly bodies, uh, their configuration and how they move relative to one another. All of these things impact through magnetism or electromagnetism, personality, physical features, all things on Earth. Okay, all things on Earth are impacted. So hermetically, this is the Hermetic law of correspondence. As above, so below. As below, so above. Okay, that's what came to my mind this morning before I started my day, that I should pass on to you all. Okay, so now you can see the Hermetic laws. That one specifically, the law of correspondence, as above, so below. As below, so above. You can see that law in action. All right, you can see it in action. All right, and again, so any changes that you make, Any changes that you make in terms of your personality, that would be uh, one of the laws involved in that is the law of vibration. For example, if you go from lower self to higher self, so you're vibrating at a higher vibration, right? But that's very simple. Of course, there's more to it than that. Or if you look at different elements, right? You look at, if you, for example, if you look at the periodic table with all of the elements, okay, the difference between each one is the law of vibration, the rate of vibration, all right? And then how they interact and express also vibration. All right, so here we go. So let's continue to explore the Hermetic law of correspondence in chapter 13. Okay, in chapter 13, page 100, and I think I said 51. Yeah, second paragraph. All right. So we're dealing with Mars now, page 151. Mars in the Hebrew. So y'all know Hebrew. You should know that that's made up. Hebrew is a made up word. Or let me state it this way. It is in fact made up. It's a corruption of Iber. So there are no vowel sounds in the Phoenician Hebrew or the ancient Ibaryath. No vowel sounds, so no e. So it's Ibar or Ibara, right? Ibara. You don't have to pronounce it the way I pronounce it. I pronounce the last ah on the pictographs, but you don't have to. Ibara, all right? So with the I, you get the I sound, but that I is a consonant. It's not a vowel. It's not a vowel. You can learn more about that if you subscribe to 101 Ancient Ibaryath. The link is in the description area of this video. It's only $10 per month. And that's going to be the best $10 you ever spent per month. All right, so let's get into it. Mars is the Hebrew, okay, which is a corruption of the ancient Ibaryath word I bara. Later on, they started to pronounce it Eber because it's spelled Eber, but E is a vowel sound. Okay, and this is another good thing. Another good, actually, it's not a factoid. It's a fact, but not a factoid. It's not something simple. So Hebrew means those who crossed over, right? Those who crossed over. So people who know a little bit more will say Hebrew means those who crossed over, and therefore Hebrew is a verb. It's an action, right? The people who know a little bit less will say Hebrew is a culture, right? They'll say Hebrew is a culture. And those who don't know anything, they're going to tell you Hebrew is a religion. And all of this is correct. But it appears to me, and y'all can take this how you want it, right? I don't know everything and never pretended to. But it appears to me that Abara does mean those who crossed over, just not those who crossed over a river or a body of water, but those who crossed over from the realm of thought, crossing over the realm of thought, crossing over the river, crossing over the realm of thought into the material world, where they were clothed in soil, which presents itself as a fleshly man or woman. Y'all heard? Hebrew or Ibara or Eber, whatever you like. Okay. But in the ancient Ibaryath, it would be I, I, Ibara. Okay, now let's continue. So Mars in the Hebrew, and then they give us the biblical Hebrew pictographs that they made up. Now, y'all notice they don't have the nakud. They don't have the dots and dashes. Y'all see that? There are no dots and dashes. Take a look. So there's no indication of the vowel sounds here. So this is one way you know it's biblical Hebrew, okay? No dots, no dashes. So biblical Hebrew. But they made this up. All right? The pictographs or the script, they just made it up. All right? They made it up. And some of the cultural context is correct, others is not. Others are not, rather. Okay, and the pronunciations definitely are not. And a good place to look to discover what they did with the, if you want to see an example of how they injected vowels into a language, y'all look at uh, the Tagalog language. They speak it in what's now called the Philippines. Y'all look at their pictographs and their sounds. I teach this. I used to teach it in that in the 8 week, that 8 week free course I used to teach years ago. I would show the Tagalog language, and you would see the sounds. The sounds of their alphabet are the same sounds as ours in the ancient Ibaryath, and you actually see where they inserted the vowels, where the Spanish inserted their vowels. Okay, you can actually see it. Prior to that, there were no vowels. Okay, but anyway, let's go back to Mars in the Hebrew, the made-up Hebrew. Then they give us the biblical Hebrew pictographs, and here's the biblical Hebrew pronunciation: Ash Lesh. There's no e sound. Okay, Ash Lesh, which means the flaming star. The first three characters or letters, here they are, y'all. I don't dignify them by speaking them. If y'all know my work, if you ever pay attention to me, I never speak these biblical Hebrew words. Okay, for me, they're not worthy of it. It's made up. Okay, so the first three characters or letters, she, lesh. Remember, no e, no vowel sounds, but we hear the e. Or listen. Or number three, so. And this is actually correct. In the ancient Ibaryath, the numbers are pictographs. Okay, the numbers are pictographs. Okay, so Shelesh or number three mean also a general or commander. A general or commander. The third day of the week, Tuesday, or Mars, die. How many is die, y'all? Give me something came to my mind. Let me check. Vietnam has the most beautiful weather, y'all. The weather here is just beautiful. Okay, so die means two. Let me just make sure that no, wait. Give me 1 second. I have to put a more specific search term in. Give me 1 second, y'all. See, we have to be precise. When we do this work, we need to be as precise as we can. Hold on. So I'm waiting for it to open. All right, so here we are. So it says here, let me show y'all. Can y'all see that? Uh-oh. Can y'all see that? Pause it on the replay if you want to get it. Okay, so this is the English word information. Word info about English vocabulary. Dis, die, diff. Latin, separation, apart, asunder, removal, away, from, negation, deprivation, undoing, reversal, utterly, completely, in different directions. Okay, now let's continue. Let's go down a little bit further. Let's see if we see something else. Okay, let's check a different source. One moment, okay? So let me look at the etymology of die. See, some people get upset because I'm so meticulous. So if you're one of those people who get upset, this is not the place for you. Okay, so die. This is etymology online, okay? Word forming element of Greek origin, meaning two, double, twice, twofold, from Greek die, shortened from die, shortened form of dis, dis, which means twice, which is related to duo, as in the dynamic duo, two and cognate with by. All right. From PIE root, do, DWO, which we now pronounce as two, TWO. All right. Okay, die, the second meaning. Word, still a word forming element of Latin origin, meaning apart, asunder, the form of dis, dis, before certain voiced consonants. So, okay, that's as a prefix. I'm looking for something different. All right, so there we have it, y'all. Give me 1 second. Let me just keep scanning through, make sure I didn't miss anything important. All right, so that appears. All right, so, okay. All right, so there we are. Where are we? Okay, so Tuesday or Mar, MAR hyphen DI. Tuesday or Mar, die, is under the influence of the warrior planet. The first hour of sunrise and the eighth hour being his planetary hours. So the planetary hours of Mars. All right, as before shown. The cock, y'all, the cock is the rooster, the chicken. The cock was dedicated to Mars by the Buddhists. So, in terms of zodiacal age, Buddha was the solar deity worship when at about 5:30, 5:45 in the morning, somewhere within the coffee belt, which is 23.5 degrees north, or the Tropic of Cancer, 0 degrees, which is the equator, or in the south, 23.5 degrees south, which is Capricorn, Tropic of Capricorn. If you go out, the first day of spring, go out, look to the east, and just before sunrise, about 5:30, 5:45 in the morning, look to the east, and you would have seen Gemini at or shortly, or rather at or a little bit above the horizon. So when you saw Gemini, that was a time when they were worshiping Buddha. Okay, Buddha. Actually, let me rephrase that. Because even now, not everybody, actually, I tell y'all something. One of the things I've learned being in Asia is that most people don't worship Buddha. It's not a religion, it's a way of life. There's only a few people that I've met who talk about Buddha and Buddhism in religious terms. All right, y'all? Now, after that, the next zodiacal age would have been Taurus. So you go out first day of spring, 5:30, 5:45 in the morning. You look just above the horizon, and you would have seen Taurus. You would have seen Baali, Baal. You would have seen Apis the bull. Okay, and this is why, of course, why they're using the bull to represent the stock market, right? A bullish market. And for those of you who don't know, that bull, the bull that everybody knows, the cow, the bull, is a hybrid. That is a hybrid. Okay, it is a hybrid. Don't believe me? Google it yourself. That type of bull is a hybrid. All right. So now, after that, remember Moses, the Exodus, all of this stuff happened at the end of Taurus. So after that, when you go out and you look on the first day of spring, March 22nd, thereabout, if we're if we are saying that the first day of spring began, well, never mind. Let's just keep it going. It doesn't matter. That part doesn't matter. So Moses would have gone outside on the first day of spring, whenever that was, right? It would not have been. Moses would have gone out first day of spring, 5:30, 5:45 in the morning, just before sunrise, looked over the horizon, and he would have seen Taurus the bull, the zodiac sign Taurus, okay? After they left Egypt, they would have seen on the same day, at the same time, they would have seen Aries the ram. They would have been in the zodiacal age called Aries. When they left Egypt, they were in the zodiacal age called Taurus. Before Taurus, they were in the zodiacal age of Gemini, where people lived according to the philosophy of Buddha. And then, of course, after Aries, when JC the Christ figure came and Christianity and all of that, you look out toward the east on the first day of spring, the morning that's ushering in the first day of spring, about 5:30 a.m., 5:45 a.m. in the morning, you look out and you would have seen Aries. I'm sorry, not Aries, but Pisces, right? Because Christianity is the two fish. All right. And then after Pisces, what's coming? Aquarius. Right. So the zodiacal age are moving, the ages are coming backward. All right. Due to the precession of the equinoxes, which they say is due to Earth's wobble. Okay, so I hope everyone understands that now. And so when one zodiacal age ends and another begins, there's a huge amount of energy transference taking place. And as they say, I don't know if this is true, I don't think it's true, but here's what they say: the end of one zodiacal age ushers in a new religion, right? So Taurus ended, and that ended the Egyptian worship of the bull, and how the people in India, they have their sacred cows. Cows are bulls, right? And then when Judaism ended, well, let me go back. So before Taurus, Buddha. So when that ended, Buddhism was replaced with the Kemetic faiths. Now remember, we're talking about external deities. This is why I don't buy it. Okay? Now, when Taurus ended, then the claim is Judaism or the Jewish religion came in. And then when Aries, the zodiacal age called Aries, ended, right, the ram's horn, blowing the shofar, when that ended and Pisces came in, now it's the fish, right? Now it's the fish. Christianity is represented as two fish, okay? So Aries is either ended, Aries either has ended and we are now in Aquarius, or Pisces rather. Pisces, the two fish. Pisces has either ended or it's about to end, and Aquarius is here or it's about to come in. So there's supposed to be a new religion. Okay, and that's for people who know the topic that I'm talking about. That's what's supposed to be happening. All of this stuff right now that's been happening over the last 20, 30 years. And those elites who have control and who dominate and oppress, they control everything on the planet right now. As the story goes, they're trying to control what the next religion will be during the next zodiacal age. In other words, they're trying to stay in power. They're trying to stay in power by hijacking whatever the next religion is going to be. So maybe they're going to try to bring in their own. Maybe that's what the whole Project Bluebeam is about. Well, who knows? Who knows? Maybe that's not even true. Maybe every zodiacal age doesn't bring in a new religion. Maybe somebody made that up. And they're telling it because they want you to believe it, because maybe they recognize that you can only fool the people with one religion for a certain amount of time, then everybody catches on, and then they have to do something else. Okay, maybe there are some records on how to do this, right? And they're saying, okay, well, we need to get rid of Christianity and all of these other religions and bring in something else because everybody is pretty much up on the game and this ain't working no more. All right, so we need to do something else to keep power, and then we can trick them for another 500-600 years or 300, well, however it goes. Okay. Anyway, y'all get the point. So let's continue. The third day of the week, Tuesday, or Mar-Dai, is under the influence of the warrior planet. The first hour of sunrise and the eighth hour being his planetary hours, as before shown. The cock was dedicated to Mars by the Buddhists, and Aries, the zodiacal sign, the stronghold of Mars, was in early Christian times represented as a cock, as a chicken, y'all, as a rooster. Y'all hear that? But we must remember, the author brought to our attention that Aries was not always in the solar zodiacal projection. And that's troubling. That's very troubling. Aries, the chauffeur, Judaism, Christianity coming from Judaism, that's what they allege. That's very troubling. Very, very troubling. Because that throws a monkey wrench in a lot of things, y'all, if it ain't true. I mean, if it is true, rather. All right. Now, so why? Why does the cock or the rooster uh, why is it used to represent the sun? Well, y'all know the thing on its head, it looks like a sunrise or a sunset. That's why. I don't remember the name of it, but you'll get that information in the Devil's Pulpit too. Okay, so in Aries, the zodiacal sign, the stronghold of Mars. So Aries is the stronghold or strong house of Mars. That's war. That's war, y'all. Aries is what? March 22nd, first day of spring now. JC is born. JC is resurrected. For the Jewish people, that's Passover. Both of these solar religions are dealing with war. So the Passover and Easter, that's a strong house of Mars, the planet of war. Huh. Page 150. The astrological or astronomical character for the planet Mars is that it gives us a symbol representing a shield and dart, indicating the martial character of Mars. Mars rules over and rejoices in all matters of violence. Huh. Wait a minute. Does Christianity have a history of violence? Does Judaism have a history of violence? What about what's happening now, y'all? Forget about the stories used to justify it. Do they both have a history of violence? Not just any old violence, but extreme violence and non-stop violence. The US is a Christian corporation. They say Christian nation. But look at its history of violence internally and internationally. And that other nation state that they're in bed with. Look at their history of violence. It continues. Listen to this part, y'all. Still on page 150. Listen to this. Talking about Mars. Mars rules over and rejoices in all manners of violence. I'm going to skip down. Uh, Almost down half the page. Soldiers, martial men, armed policemen, and warriors of all peoples, over flaming, red-headed, and violent tempered, over petty lawyers. Okay, y'all, petty lawyers, people in corporations sitting around writing up policies, statutes, and acts. And then the U.S. corporation, the EU, and others pass them. They pass them, and all of a sudden, the global agricultural supply has been terminated, taken over by corporations, and local farmers are left stranded. And now all of a sudden, the seeds, everything has been hybridized and patented, and you're forced into a situation where you have to buy these products, and it's all bad for your health. Okay, petty lawyers, but not judges. Y'all know that's BS, right? Or the upper class advocates. So the judges are innocent, and the elite heads of the religious institutions, they're innocent. Y'all know this is a bunch of lies, right? Why? How do we know? Well, he's a Freemason. Y'all think that these high level free well, y'all think that these Freemasons aren't in privileged positions, leadership positions, you think they're going to tell on themselves? No, they're going to make themselves look innocent like he's doing right now. All right? But we're not going to fall for the BS. They're just as guilty as the rest of them. All right? So let's go back to it. Let's go back to it. And Aries, the zodiacal sign, the stronghold of Mars, the Passover, again, I'm not going to say it again. The Jewish Passover occurs in Aries, March 22nd. Okay? The Christian Passover or resurrection, whatever they call it in your denomination, Easter rather, right? That's also in Aries. Christianity is commerce. It's in the Aries, the strong house or strong of Aries is Mars, which is warfare. Warfare and what? Lawyers, petty lawyers, scheming magistrates and judges, and people who are acting as magistrates and judges in de facto corporations. Do y'all see that? So these would be the people who are using what? Who weaponize public policy. Come up with things like the black codes. Come up with things like children and family services and the statutes or the executive, coming up with the administrative state by giving legislative power to the executive office. Why? For warfare. Warfare against the people. All right? So he continues. All right. So the cock was dedicated to Mars by the Buddhists. And what does it say in the New Testament, scholars? What did JC say? You will betray me how many times? With respect to the cock crowing, y'all see that? You will. I think it's 3 times. You'll betray me 3 times before the cock crows. The cock again has reference to Mars. The Buddhists also assigned. No, that's not it. Let me go back here again. And Aries, the zodiacal sign, the stronghold of Mars, was in early Christian times represented as a cock. In early Christian times, represented as a cock. You will betray me 3 times before the cock crows. All right? It continues. See remarks on signs, and particularly Aries and Capricorn. The Buddhists also assigned the third day of the week to Mars. Well, how about that? The third day of the week is Tuesday or Mar-Di Day. Mardi Day, Mardi Day. The Buddhists also assigned the third day or Tuesday to Mars. War, y'all, war. The greatest latitude of Mars is north. I think this is 4 hours and 31 minutes, and south 6 hours and 47 minutes. Mean motion 31 and 27. Diurnal motion sometimes 32, 34, 36, 38, 40, 42, 44. So we would look for patterns here, right? So these are all even numbers. What are they all divisible by? Actually, they're all divisible by 2. Okay, anyway, let's continue. So 32, 34, 36, 8, 38, 40, 42, 44 minutes per day. All right. Seldom exceeding. All right. So Mars is retrograde 80 days, stationary before retrograde 2 or 3 days, and stationary before turning direct 2 days. And after but 1 day, Mars governs wholly the watery triplicity. So triple city, triplicity, triple three. Okay. So the zodiac signs that are shown are uh, Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. So Mars governs the watery signs, the watery triple city, triplicity, Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. When Mars retrogrades in Leo, Scorpio, Aquarius, or Taurus, Mars produces dire evils. So, y'all, so here we're looking at the law, the Hermetic law of correspondence. I almost said compensation. Correspondence. Okay, as above, so below, as below, so above. Okay, Mars is masculine, nocturnal. Mars is a masculine, nocturnal planet. In nature, hot and dry, caloric and fiery. The lesser infortune or evil, author of quarrels. So it's a lot of arguing, right? Strifes and contentions. So that's Mars. Think about this, y'all. Think about the religious people you know. Always arguing with other religious people. Are they not? Are they not? Always claiming that somebody else's doctrine ain't right. Always inserting themselves in somebody else's business. Huh? Am I right, y'all? Look at the Hebrew Israelites. Look at the Hebrew Israelites. Do I need to say more? Look at the Christians. Look at the Jehovah's Witnesses and their elder bodies and their elders' meetings. All right? Look how they insert themselves in other people's lives and try to push their doctrine and belief system on others. And then accuse somebody else of being wrong because they don't have the spirit or they don't have discernment or they're an agent or all of this type of stuff, creating strife, quarrels, and contentions. All of it having its origin in the religion, right? It attracts narcissists. When well dignified, in feats of war and courage, invincible. Y'all heard that? When Mars is well dignified in war, it's invincible. In courage, you won't find more courageous people. Scorning any emulation, subject to no reason, bold, confident, immovable, contentious, valiant. So this is the kind of person, if Mars, where is it again? If Mars is well dignified, this is the kind of person you want in your army or on your executive team, right? Valiant, a lover of war, and hazarding all perils, willingly will submit to no one. So these are people who you can't control unless, well, you can't control them long term. Let me put it like that. You can control them short term because they want something from you. But in the long term, they're going to bite your head off. All right? They're going to bite your head off. It's just like a snake. You can raise a snake from the time it's in the egg. Okay? And while it's little, it's totally harmless. But as it gets bigger and you keep feeding it and you keep feeding that snake, in his mind, the snake is thinking, when I get big enough, I'm going to eat you. Y'all see that? And the snake will measure its length next to your body. Let's say you're sleeping. The snake will measure your body length to see if he can eat you. And as soon as he gets big enough where the snake knows I can eat this person, that snake will eat you. Although you raised it from the time that it even was in an egg, it's just waiting for the moment. Okay, y'all? So you can control these people short term, but when they feel like when they feel like you're down and they can consume you or get rid of you, and it's not going to hurt them and they're not going to get caught, they're not going to lose their reputation, they're not going to go to jail, they're going to bite your head off because they don't need you anymore. Okay, they don't need you anymore. All right? And they feel like they can get away with it and maybe even be praised. Maybe even destroy your reputation without you even knowing that they are the ones who's destroying your reputation. Maybe even set you up. You might find out that this person is the reason you got locked up. All the time they're smiling in your face, claiming to help you, wanting to take you here, offering to take you there, offering to give you advice or do something nice for you. But all the time they're working behind you to set you up and bite your head off. Maybe you're getting too much shine and they don't like it, right? Especially when you're dealing with a narcissist. Especially when you're dealing with a narcissist. I'm not talking to anybody specific. I'm speaking in general terms from my experience in my life, from being around a whole bunch of jealous and envious people who I didn't suspect, who I had to learn the hard way. The worst of all was learning that one of those people was my biological father. But of course, I experienced that through many, many others. And it was through the learning experience through the others that I was able to identify it in my biological father. Right. So I got a good, solid education on that I wouldn't wish on anybody else. If y'all only knew the trials and troubles that I've seen. But through it all, not only did I survive and thrive, and what other people said would have crushed and stopped other people in their tracks. Now, this is what other people told me. But I'm happy. I'm at and in peace. Let me rephrase that. I'm in peace. And I'm happy. Okay. Anyway, y'all, let's keep it moving. Let's keep it moving. Let me just say this. When you encounter these type of people, the best thing to do is run the opposite direction. Don't ask questions. Don't try to work it out because they will lie, deny. There is no fixing it. And it ain't going to get better. They are literally like that snake. And I'm not talking about an esoteric snake. I'm talking about a real snake, okay? A real snake in the forest or in the river, okay? A cold-hearted snake that'll eat its own children, okay? This is a narcissist, all right? Anyway, let's keep going. Boastful caring for nothing but victory. And this is one of the primary characteristics about a narcissist, y'all. The most insidious, the worst kind of narcissist is a noble narcissist. These are the kind of people who will work for a nonprofit agency, right? Get involved in civic events, okay? As opposed to, let's say, somebody who's wanting to be uh, in the shine. Let's say like a Donald Trump. I'm not saying Donald Trump is a narcissist, but y'all see what I'm saying? The bling, the bling, the bling. Or let's say a Floyd Mayweather. He wants to be out there and seen. Okay, the noble narcissist wants to be seen as a noble person, like he's sacrificing of himself. Well, I don't want to do it, but since everybody is asking me to do it, and I don't want to do it, but I'm gonna do it because all y'all want me to. Okay, now that's all BS. Okay, he really wants to do it, but he wants to be seen as this noble person. Okay, so these are the worst ones because these are the ones who are most difficult to detect. But generally speaking, from what I know about the topic, the people who are close to that person, it could be their heirs, or it could be people who they've worked with. Okay, people who they've worked with, and who would really know? Those people who were unfortunate enough to make that noble narcissist, feel threatened, to feel like they're taking some of his shine. He thinks that their shine is just as bright or brighter than his or hers. And now he wants to destroy them. That could be his son, it could be his daughter, it could be his wife, right? It could be somebody else close to him, okay? Co-workers, whatever. And this person will destroy them. But of course, as they say in Asia, at the back. He'll do it at the back. And he'll recruit other people. Y'all know the narcissist vocabulary. He'll recruit flying monkeys. Okay? Recruit flying monkeys to do his dirty work for him. He'll have a cat's paw. All of that stuff. But anyway, let's get back to it. Caring for nothing but victory. That's all they care about. They have no empathy. They have no empathy. None. These are people who are only friends with you. They only do something for you because they want to score points and look good in other people's eyes. It ain't got nothing to do with a love or care or concern for you when it comes to these narcissists. But prudent in his own affairs. That's right. They cover their tracks. They cover their tracks. They are puppet masters. And they're good at it because they've been doing it their whole life, especially if it's an older person. They become master manipulators, masters at getting other people to do their dirty work. Masters. Okay, y'all? Masters. You cannot beat these people at the manipulation game. You cannot beat them at the hate game because that's all they've been doing their whole life. All right. And in their sick mind, in their sick mind, they're looking at everybody thinking everybody's out to get them. And they're playing chess, trying to figure out how to get you first, right? And you're not even thinking like that. Most people are not even thinking like that, but that's how this person is thinking. Always thinking about how to destroy someone. Okay, y'all. Let me drop this on y'all, and then I'm gonna move on. So the way that you can tell if the narcissist has focused on you, if the narcissist is doing things behind your back to destroy you, let's say you notice that you keep getting problems, right? Every time you do something, something goes wrong, or you keep getting locked up, or you keep getting in all these negative situations. You can look at when I talk to this person, when I talk to this person, let's say I tell them something. Has those things have those things gone wrong, right? When this person knows something about me or a relationship or a goal that I have, is it somehow, some way, these things always go bad, right? Or relationships end. See, start thinking. So you have to look at what they do, not what they say, what they do. Is it the case that everything that they know about me, that I've told them, or that they've learned about me, they got something to do with it? All of it goes bad. Well, that narcissist, 99.99999% of the time, is destroying you behind your back. All right? That's what I learned from my experience with them. Okay? Now, what can you do? You can start testing. I know that's what I did. I started testing, predicting their behavior. And when you start predicting people's behavior and your predictions are coming true, well, then now it's just a matter of what do you want to accept the reality of it, right? Do you want to accept the reality, or do you want to pretend like you don't know the truth? If you pretend like you don't know the truth, it's just a matter of time before that snake bites your head off. All right? It's just a matter of time. And then at that point, you have no one to blame but yourself. All right? Now you've given consent, right? You've given consent because you're aware and you continue in the relationship. Okay, let's continue. Enough about narcissists. All right. So, if ill dignified, then Mars is a prattler, neither modest nor dignified, a lover of slaughter. Yeah, like to kill things, or if not like to physically kill, like to see you with nothing. Okay, wants to slaughter you. A lover of slaughter and quarrels. Y'all know what the quarrels are? They get their flying monkeys to turn against you, get people to hate you, dislike you, distrust you, think that you're lower than the low, think that you're a liar, think that you're a thief, think that here's a good one. Think that you're doing the narcissist wrong. These are some evil liars, y'all. Evil liars. Okay, lover of slaughter and quarrels, a housebreaker. Huh, a housebreaker. Maybe they do things to break up their own house. Y'all know what narcissists do, y'all? Narcissists will pit their heirs against one another. Yeah, they manipulate their heirs. That's how ruthless they are. So if you ever see a family where the brothers and sisters, the siblings, as we say in Asia, siblings don't have good relationships with one another, or the siblings are always at odds with each other, very, 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 very probable that one or both of their parents is a narcissist. All right, and they turn their connotatively speaking, so everyone understands me, children against one another by manipulating them from birth. Okay, and then the family is just totally dysfunctional. But everybody, or a majority of them, seem to always want the narcissistic parent's attention. Okay, why? Because he has a history of withholding it, and they want approval. Very few, very few are able to break out of that, y'all. Very few are able to break out of that cycle of dysfunction. Anyway, let's continue. A burglar, a thief, or murderer, full of sedition, full of sedition, right? They don't respect authority. They don't respect authority. They don't respect their place in the hierarchy. If you're not going to do what they want you to do, well, then they're going to lie on you, destroy your reputation, accuse you of this, accuse you of that, leave the organization, or try to get people to leave the organization and follow them. They don't respect authority. Okay? See, anybody can come up with any excuse at all. You can be in an organization, you can come up with any excuse at all to leave. Okay? Any. That doesn't mean it's true. Doesn't mean it's true. See, the real motive could be they wouldn't do what you wanted them to do. So you got mad and you left, right? Or maybe you have a problem with yourself and you projected that problem you have on yourself on them. And this negative personality trait that you have, you see it in them. And you start blaming them for doing things that you do. Projection. And they're not doing that at all. Y'all see it? So they're projecting the things they don't like about themselves onto other people. And then using that as an excuse, as an alibi. And in their mind, they really see it. Okay? For example, a lazy person and a liar may call someone they don't like, or someone they feel intimidated by, or someone who they think sees them for who they really are, or someone who disagrees with them. They may call that person a liar when that person's not a liar at all. But they're projecting what they don't like about themselves on the other person. Y'all see it? And then go tell everybody, oh, he's a liar, he's a cheater. And as none of it is true. It's just his perception, his dislike for himself. He's a liar, he's a cheater. Okay, y'all? Or she's a liar, she's a cheater. And then goes tell everybody. And these people are very charismatic. So people will believe them because narcissists are very charismatic people. And now all of a sudden they done ruined this person's reputation. Everybody thinks this person is a liar and a cheater. When in fact, that's not true at all. So I'm talking about narcissists. I'm not talking about anybody specifically. But if you feel offended, then what's the saying, y'all? When you throw a rock, the dog who gets hit is the one who barks the loudest, or something like that. I'm not talking about anybody specifically, but if you're feeling upset, angry, maybe that's because you're a narcissist. So this Mars person. Let me go back. So let's pick up where we were. Okay, full of sedition and commotions, always making trouble. A highwayman. See, somebody who's lying in wait. A traitor. Okay, y'all, a traitor. A traitor. They're always going to have a good excuse, y'all. They're always going to have a good alibi. But you just remember, like Dr. Cress, is it Dr. Cress Westling? Uh, uh, she wrote the ISIS paper. She said, whenever somebody's pointing a finger, she said, remember, there's one pointing forward. How many pointing backward? There's three pointing backward at them. She was saying they're projecting. They're projecting what they don't like about themselves on other people. And they really see it. Okay? They really see it, but it's just not true. It's called projection. A traitor, obscene, rash, inhumane. They have no empathy, y'all. None. When I say will bite your head off, I literally mean bite your head off. They don't have any feeling for you. No matter how much they smile in your face, no matter how much they smooth you, you just better believe. You better know, rather, that it's just smooth. It is just smooth. Okay? They don't care anything about you. Unthankful, treacherous. They will trick you. They will sit there and manipulate you and trick you and smile in your face and pretend like they're your friend. These people will set you up. Y'all might think I'm being extreme. I'm telling you the truth. They will set you up to get locked up, set you up to get DELLIK spelled backward, to get robbed. I'm telling y'all, these people are vicious, oppressive, ravenous, a cheat, furious, violent, a ravager, a perjurer. All of this is done at the back. It's done at the back. And they're going to rise up when they think the opportunity is right. They won't get caught, or when they think people will feel that they were justified in biting your head off. Okay. And you better believe they're going to have a good alibi made up where you're the villain and they're the hero. A Mars person is generally of middle stature, strong body, big boned, rather lean than fat, complexion ruddy, brown, or high colored, round visage, hair red or sandy. He's talking about hybrids, right? So I wish I could know what Santos Bonacci reads, so I can get a better idea of these phenotypes. So again, y'all, we're looking at the phenotype, the physical features, and including the face, the body type, and the face of Mars people. So this again is the Hermetic law of correspondence: as above, so below; as below, so above. Mars expressing itself in a person's body type and facial features. Okay, y'all? All right. So, flaxen and often crispy or curling, sharp hazel eyes, definitely talking about hybrids, and piercing sight, bold and confident look. So, they look bold, they look confident, and an active and fearless person. When Mars is oriental, when Mars is west, Mars signifies a valiant person. Color some white mixed with redness, decently tall, and hairy of body. When Occidental, very ruddy complected, but mean of stature, little head, smooth body, and not hairy, yellow hair, and stiff. See, y'all, it's talking about hybrids, blonde hair, yellow hair. And the natural humors dry, so they have a dry humor. If signifactor of rulers, they are generally oppressive and tyrannical. If they are rulers or if they got any kind of power, they are oppressive and tyrannical. But I can guarantee you they're not doing it up front. They're always going to do that through somebody else. All right. The diseases of Mars: gall, the left ear, tertian fevers, pestilent burning fevers, megrims in the head, carbuncles, plague, all plague sores, burning, boils, ringworms, blisters, freezes, mad sudden head, distempers, yellow jaundice, bloody flux or dysentery, fistulas, all wounds and diseases in the genitals, gravel or stone in veins or bladder, scars, smallpox on the face, all hurts from iron or steel, so a lot of wounds from weapons, y'all, because remember, soldiers, the shingles, and all diseases arising from choler, anger, or passion. Wow, well, that makes sense, right? All the diseases arising from anger. Well, that's a lot of diseases. He delights in the red or yellowish red color, blood color, and colors of fiery and shining like saffrons, and in savors which are bitter. So he likes the taste of bitter things, sharp, and burn the tongues. So things that burn the tongue, maybe like hot sauce, bitter things. Okay, now he has the next sentence. For the herbs, see culpepper, also of trees. All right, so again, y'all, hermetically speaking, we are dealing with the law of compensation: as above, so below. Mars, magnetic effects expressing themselves through a person's body type, height, whether they're tall, short, muscular, thin, fat, okay? Uh, Shape of the face: square, oval, circle, triangle. Shape of the nose: big, small. Complexion: type of hair, color of hair. All right, as above, so below, as below, so above. So far we've covered Saturn, Uranus, Jupiter, and Mars. All right, and again, this is the Hermetic law of compensation. All right. Actually, I think that this is very useful to know that the law of compensation expresses itself in the way that we're dealing with right now. So we need to not just be able to list the Hermetic laws, but we need to be able to identify how the magnetic effects are expressed in our day to day lives, in our physical body, in consciousness, right? Our attitude: angry, happy, sad, warlike, okay? And everything else. Okay, we even, and it's also as far as chemistry and physics. We need to know these things so that we can then use the Hermetic laws to do analysis, okay? To analyze make conclusions and things like that. All right, y'all. Hold on. I want another cup of coffee. Nobody came in here to check on me to see if I want anything. Hold on. I think they're used to me being here, y'all. Let me see here. Where are we? All right. So we're on page 153. 153. Yeah, 153. So this chapter is kind of long. All right. So where are they? Give me 1 second, y'all. Well, I don't think I should drink more coffee, but I like the taste of honey in the coffee. Give me 1 second, y'all. I need to take a break. Give me a moment. I'm having my nostrils. Oh, by the way, y'all. By the way, I put the link to enter the live stream. I put the link in the comment section if anybody wants to join the live stream. All right. So give me 1 second, y'all. Let me go through these. Y'all help me out. Like and share the video. Like and share the video. More important than that, subscribe. Subscribe to the channel, okay? Give me a second. Oh. Ah, hold on. Let me check the stream. I'm checking for comments. One moment. The trolls are back. All right, y'all. So unfortunately, no comments. What's happening? What you scared of? What you scared of? All right, let's keep it moving, y'all. Page 153. 153. Okay, so now we're going to deal with animals. Mars rules over such animals as the panther. tiger. So these are predators, right? Mastiff, fox, and such living creatures as are warlike, ravenous, and bold. Also the horse, right? You ride the horse in the infantry into battle. Mule, the mule carries equipment, right? The goat, wolf, leopard, wild ass. A fish, Mars rules over the pike, shark, barbel, scorpions, and centipede. Oh, it's very interesting, right? Scorpion, uh, Judas, the backbiter, kissed JC, right? Usually they render the verse as to identify him, but Judas the backbiter, as the story goes, backbiter because the scorpion stings with his tail, so backbiter, right? The tail is in the back, backbiter. And as the story goes, the sting looks like two lips kissing. That's supposed to be unique to a scorpion in the Middle East. But that's a whole story right there in terms of the location. And I think scholars, Zion Law School scholars, you probably know what I'm talking about, because the first thing that should come to your mind is the location of the promised land, according to Moses, right? So scorpions and centipedes. Of birds, the hawk, vulture, kite, all ravenous fowls, raven, cormorant, condor, owl, and eagle. How often we see the eagle as a martial symbol, and crow. Of places, smithies, shops, furnaces, slaughterhouses, places where bricks or charcoal are burned or have been burned, chimneys, forges, foundries, and smelting places. Right? Why? Iron, smelting iron, sharpening weapons. Of stones, adamant, lodestone, bloodstone, jasper. Uh-oh. Y'all, are one of the stones that represents the tetragrammaton, are one of them jasper? I don't remember. The many colored amethysts, the touchstone, red, lead, or vermilion color. Of the weather, red clouds, thunder, fiery impressions, pestilence, a pestilent air rather, which appears after droughts and fair weather by improper and unwholesome mists. So that would be mostly at the equator, right? Or in the coffee belt in the early mornings. He stirreth up the west winds. The west winds. Is he talking about the uh, the west winds? Uh, Give me 1 second, y'all. Let me check this. I'm thinking about the ocean currents. Give me 1 second. If he's talking about that, he would be talking about hurricanes, uh, typhoons, so on and so forth. But let me check it. So let me see, y'all. Let me see what I can get to read to share with you. Okay, so a west wind is a wind that originates in the west and blows in an eastward direction. So yes, I was right. So west winds, he's talking about the winds or the current that goes from the continent called Africa today to the Americas. Okay, so let's say if you're in Brazil, there's going to be a west wind that will blow toward Africa. Okay, that will blow toward the west coast of Africa. And from Africa, there's going to be an east wind that will blow you to America in the west. All right. A west wind is a wind that originates in the west and blows in an eastward direction. There you have it. Okay, y'all? Oh, let me go back to that. Hold on. One second, y'all. Let me look at something else. One second. One second. Ah, okay. Ah, all right, y'all. I'm trying to get this for y'all, but they're asking me to accept the cookie. Of course, I don't want to do that. Hold on. Let me try to get this without the cookie. Give me 1 second. Come on, get out of here. Come on, no. Oh man. All right. So let me try to get this to you guys. Listen to the. Okay, let me read this. Hold on. Let me see if I can get it this way. No. So y'all be patient, okay? One moment. Let me try a different website. All right. Okay, so here we are. So let me share this with you all. This is I think it's English.com. All right, I'm just gonna read this for y'all. Okay. So here we are. Summary and analysis of Ode to the West Wind. This is a poem, y'all. This was published on March 15th, 2024. This is an analysis of it. This is not the poem itself, okay? It says, overview of the poem. The grandiose ode, masterfully crafted by the preeminent poet Percy Bysshe Shelley, was birthed from the depths of his imagination in the Annus Mirabilis of 1819. Its publication in the year 1820 was secured through the unwavering efforts of Charles, who included it as a prize gem in the anthology Prometheus Unbound. So let me skip down to the next paragraph. Quote, in quotes, okay, quote unquote. Ode to the West Wind personifies the raw, unbridled energy of the West Wind. The raw power of the wind, the raw power of the west wind is captured in this ode as it blows across the land, recovering the autumn leaves and bringing the speaker's thoughts and hopes for a new beginning. Right? Remember, so when we deal with this, with uh, with spring, summer, winter, and fall, that's all about birth of life or the next generation of life. It's maturing, it's decline, it's death, it's resurrection and rebirth, and then that cycle of life and death continues, okay? Every year. He continues. So the west wind blows across the land, removing the autumn leaves and bringing the speaker's thoughts and hopes for a new beginning. So y'all see that the astrology there? Okay, a new beginning. The new beginning would be what? December 25th, when the new sun is born, or when the sun is are resurrected. Okay, and then of course the son is going to die again on the cross, right, y'all? Go to hell for 3 days and then be reborn again. Okay, all right. The speaker uses grandiose rhetoric and vivid images to explore the wind, to spread his message to the four corners of the globe. What are the four corners? North, south, east, and west, or what? The north gate, the south gate, the west gate, and the east gate. All right. In other words, what, y'all? The solstitial line, right? Cancer, Capricorn, Aries, and then over here, Libra. So March 22nd, Aries, Libra, September 22nd. Did I get that right? And then June 22nd, Cancer, and then December 22nd, uh, Capricorn. I got to check September 22nd. I forgot. Okay, anyway, let's continue. This is what he's talking about, the four corners. So this is the cross, y'all. Okay, this is the cross. And what is this? This is the Ta in the ancient Ibaryath, or the Phoenician Hebrew, or the Phoenician Canaanite, or Canaanite Phoenician, whatever you want to call it. This is why you see the Kemetic pharaohs like this. Okay, that's why you see them with their hands like this. Okay, that was, of course, when? When Taurus, when spring began in Taurus. Okay, so the head in Ezekiel chapter 1, I think it's 1 through 7, 1 through 8, the four living creatures, and I think it's Revelation chapter 4, the four living creatures, right? The head of a bull, springtime began in Taurus at that time, right? When the Egyptians, when the Israelites were in Egypt, in Kemet. and then the head of a lion, which is Leo, okay? The head of a eagle, which was Scorpio, and then the head of a man, which is Aquarius, and then what's where the line intersects, y'all? What's where the line intersects? What's there? The central fire, the SUN sun, and the four corners are the cherubim. So God dwells between the cherubim, the central fire. Let me share something with y'all, all right? Blah or black. When you look at the etymology, black, it means what? I'm going to paraphrase. Ash. You know, like when you burn something, burn coal, right? It goes from being black to what? Pale. And also this one. Okay. Come on. Um, so shining. The central fire, the central sun, y'all, burning, shining. Yeah, pale. Why? Because the burning heat causes it to what? To glow, to shine. And if you're burning coal, y'all know exactly what I'm talking about, right? It gets that white look. Okay, the coal would be the sun. Okay, that hot fire would be the glory of God, the central fire, black. Some of y'all might disagree with me, but you can't conceptualize it like that. The central fire, okay? The central fire, burning hot, okay? Like a coal, like a black coal, burning white heat, and the coal begins to become what? Pale, grayish white, all right? The central fire, the central fire, black, right? The central fire, dwelling between the cherubs. Okay, y'all get it? And then, of course, they changed the meaning of the word. So the way I conceptualize, it, blackamoor would have said the shining more, or connotatively speaking, God, the central fire. Y'all see it? Shining, pale, varnished, right? The color is gone. Why? Because of the burning heat. That's just one way myself. I'm not saying I'm right. Okay? But that's one way to look at it. Saying that the blackamoor is God. What's this? What's that? What? Oh, okay. But why are you giving? Do you have tea? Um, y'all see what I'm saying? So blackamoor could have what they really could have been saying, is calling you God, the sun. And of course, that was scandalized. The black part was scandalized. So it went from calling you shining, see, the shining more, the S-U-N sun more, blah, as should I go through that? I don't know. Y'all do the etymology yourself. I've already given you the concept. You can decide what you want to roll with. Emoy, thank you. Gamer. So I've already shared the concept with y'all. So it very well could be, for me, it's very possible. For me, it's very possible that Blackamoor actually meant initially the shining more, the central fire more. In religion, it would mean God. It would mean God in religion. The more between the cherubs, fixed and immovable forever, between the cherubs in the Ta cross. I'm telling y'all that could very well be what was initially meant by that. It could be initially not derogatory at all. Right? The shining more God, who is immovable, fixed between the cherubim. Y'all see that? The shining God. Of course, God, I'm using it connotatively, right? Okay, and the Ta cross. All right. So I'm introducing you to yourself, Moors. I'm introducing you to you, not me, to you. So you are the shining more. Connotatively speaking, you are God. Okay, you are the central fire. Each and every more. Man is thought made manifest from the soil. Okay? There never was a time when man was not. Man crossed over. Ibaryath, Hebrew. Man crossed over from the realm or the ethers of thought. The first Hermetic Law was clothed in the soil, presenting in the flesh. Y'all see it? And man is the central fire. Okay? Man is the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. Okay, everybody see? Christ in you, quote unquote, God in you. Man is eternal. Right? Everybody see it? Anyway, let's get back to Mars. Let's get back to Mars. I don't even remember how we got off the topic. Okay, so here we are. Of the weather, red, clouds, thunder, fiery impressions, pestilence, a pestilent air, which appears after droughts and fair weather. So that would be, oh, I almost forgot. The west wind. I was trying to read something else for you guys, scholars, that shows that the westward wind is blowing, transitioning, uh, transitioning spring into summer. Okay, so in that case, it would be the Holy Spirit, right? Those holy gusts of wind. So you get more on that in the devil's pulpit. Okay, so in nature, the Holy Ghost, in religion, is actually the spring winds that evaporate the moisture from the surface of the ground so that the plant life or the vegetation can grow. Okay, so they can grow. In other words, it won't be waterlogged and there won't be an overgrowth of pathogens, all right, that can make you sick. What time do you close? Yeah. Close. What time do you close? What time do you close? 11 or 10? Closing time.
Dạ lâu.
Yeah.
Dạ là
10 or
11.
11.
11.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Hold on, y'all. Oh, okay, y'all. Okay, let's continue back to the article. I almost forgot. Okay, the speaker uses grandiose rhetoric and vivid images to implore the wind, the west wind, to spread his message to the four corners of the globe, where it will hopefully inspire mankind, not man, mankind, Genesis chapter 1, to rise up in rebellion and usher in a new period of revolution and renewal. Genesis chapter 1, of course, is the Neanderthal, the Han Uman, the colorable man, the symbolicum of a man, in contradistinction to the autochthonous Moor, Adam. Genesis chapter 2, verse 27. Shelley, invoking the divine and eternal via the rapid and chaotic movements of the winds, praises the regenerative potential of nature and the resilience of the human soul. Human Han Uman. Human is I don't want to not condense, what's the proper word? Human is a corruption of Han Uman. Okay, so Han Uman, H-A-N-U-M-A-N. So H, delete the A-N, you get H-U-M-A-N. Okay, it's a contraction. All right, the poem is both a hymn to the forces of nature. There you go, y'all. I told y'all astrology. The forces of nature, and a monument to the resilience of the human, of the Han Uman spirit, celebrating the destructive and creative power of wind. All right, y'all. Everybody see that? Okay. You know, this is really fun. This is really fun. You know, our ancestors were, I think, brilliant to use these type of literary tools to convey messages, hidden messages right there in people's face, right? Ooh, I gotta put honey in that. Eesh. That's black coffee. Okay, now let's continue. He stirred up the west winds. So Mars stirs up the west winds. His orb is but 7 degrees before and after any of his aspects. In man, he governs the flourishing time of youth. Well, that makes sense, right? Especially with young boys, they like to do all kind of dangerous and, oftentimes violent things. And young people will be used to fight war, right? For soldiers, and from 41 to 56 years of life. 41 to 56 years of life. Okay, so Mars is ruling that age group. Mars' greatest year is 204. Greater 66. Mean 40, less 15. Mars ruleth over the third climate. Sarmatia, Lombardy, Batava, Gothland. Huh. I think these are all in Europe, y'all. We need to check it. Okay? Well, that would make sense if it's all in Europe, right? Because the Europeans are very violent. Even the European Moors proved to be very violent, right? Not all of them, but a certain group of them. In relation to the total population, I'm sure it's probably just a small percentage of them. Okay, but there were European Moors, the Portuguese, the Spain, uh, who were actually the initial colonists in the Americas, right? These were our own family, autochthonous men and women. That's what I'm talking about. Men and women sprung from the soil, Moors. Okay, so the name of Mars angel is Samael. Samael. Let me show y'all this. The name of Mars angel is Samael. We'll try to do this without knocking everything down. Let me show y'all this. So this is Mars angel, y'all. I hope y'all can see that. Samael. Samael. So of course I need to look up Samael, right, y'all? Okay, so Samael is an archangel, y'all. Let me show y'all some pictures. Samael. Okay, so this is Mars angel, Samael.
Rồi mấy cái gì ấy, cây lau nhà phía sau không lấy?
All right, Samael. Let's see. So here are more pictures of Mars angel. Now remember, y'all, this Mars has to do with JC, the Christ figure, in all forms of Christianity. Also, what? Also Judaism, because it's the Passover, right? Aries. Aries is a strong house of Mars. Samael again. Can y'all see it? Everybody see that? All right. I mean, you cannot make this stuff up, y'all. You cannot make this up. Here we are. Samael is an archangel in Talmudic and post-Talmudic lore. A figure who is the accuser or adversary, seducer, and destroying angel. Oh, who does that sound like? Let me read this again. Samael is an archangel in Talmudic and post-Talmudic lore. A figure who is the accuser or adversary. Adversary, accuser. That's Hashatan, ain't it, y'all? That's Satan. Seducer, adversary, accuser, and destroying angel. Read it for yourself. Mars. So now Mars is associated with Satan the devil for you religious people and you Hebrew Israelites, okay? If you believe in Satan, here's Samael. Okay, when I say if you believe in Satan, of course, I mean if you believe in Satan as a real person. All right. Samael description, Judaism. I told y'all, right? Judaism. Okay, how did I know? Because of Aries, the shofar. Samael description, Judaism, Satan, Lilith, history, and facts. So I'm going to read that in the Britannica. Okay, y'all, give me 1 second. Samael, the light bringer, demon, fallen angel, and archangel. Samael, Jewish virtual library. Samael is the major name of Satan in Judaism. Okay, you ain't got to believe me. Let me show this. Y'all see the value of astrotheology? Y'all see the value of studying astrotheology? Read it for yourself. Okay, so first let's read this in the Jewish virtual library.org. Okay, let's go through this in the Jewish virtual library.org. Samael. Let me show it. So this is the website that I'm on. Okay, everybody see that? All right. Can everybody see it? Samael. So I'm going to start reading the text from here. All right. Everybody see that? So let's make it do what it do. Samael, from the Amoric period onward, the major name of Satan in Judaism. The major name of Satan in Judaism. The name first appears in the account of the theory of angels in the Ethiopic Book of Enoch 6, which includes the name, although not in the most important place, in the list of the leaders of the angels who rebelled against God. The Greek version of the lost Hebrew text contained the forms, and I'll show y'all these instead of read them. The latter form takes the place of the name Samael in the Greek work of the church father Irenaeus in his account of the Gnostic sect of the Ophites. See below, and then I'm not going to read that. Let me show y'all. Y'all can read this on the playback, okay? Or just Google search Samael. According to Irenaeus, the Ophites gave the snake a double name, Michael, oh, Michael and Samael. So according to Judaism, y'all, the archangel Michael or Michael is Hashatan. So if you look at astrotheology on September 29th, the archangel Michael leads the Yeshua son, leads the Christ to hell, accompanies the Christ to hell, which is December 22nd. And then Christ stays in hell for 3 days, right? And then is resurrected, or a new Yeshua son is born on December 25th at exactly 12 o'clock midnight, the end of December 24th. Everybody see that? So that makes total sense, right? Now, of course, I know that Satan is not a real person, but I don't know where you are at and what you believe. But you see the story, right? You see the story. So let's continue. According to Irenaeus, the Ophites gave the snake in the garden, a double name, Michael and Samael, which in the Greek work of the church father Theodorus appears as Sam Main. The Greek version of Enoch used by the Byzantine Syncellus retained the form Samiel. This form still retains the original meaning derived from the word Sammy. Sammy, and they're showing you the biblical Hebrew. Y'all see that? Sammy. They're showing you the biblical Hebrew. Okay, y'all see it? So the word Sammy, meaning blind, in etymology, which was preserved in various Jewish and non-Jewish sources until the Middle Ages. In addition to Samiel, the forms Samael and Samu, Sammu, Samuel or Samuel date from antiquity. So these are all variations of Samael or Satan, the adversary, the opposer, the accuser. This third version is preserved in the Greek Apocalypse of Baruch 4, verse 9, from the Tanaitic period, which states that the angel Samuel, in English, in modern English, we say Samuel, right? Samuel, Sammuel, but it's Samuel, planet divine that caused the fall of Adam. Samuel, planet divine that caused the fall of Adam. And therefore, Samuel was cursed and became Satan or Samael or Samiel, right, y'all? All those variations. The same source relates in chapter 9 in an ancient version of the legend of shrinking of the moon that Samael took the form of a snake in order to tempt Adam, an idea which was omitted in later Talmudic versions of the legend. And y'all, this goes on and on and on, okay? Oh, wait, but I got to read this. In an apocalyptic work, the ascension of Isaiah, rather. Okay, so this is an apocalyptic book called the Ascension of Isaiah, which contains a mixture of Jewish and early Christian elements. The names Beliar, Beliar, i.e. Belial, and Samael occur side by side as names or synonyms for Satan. Okay? So this is for the religious people. This presents a lot of problems for y'all in terms of your doctrine. Okay, so I hope this is causing some of the scales to fall off of your eyes. What is recounted of Samael, of Satan, in one passage is stated in another about Beliar. For example, Samael dominated King Manasseh and embraced him, thus taking on the form of Manasseh. That's in chapter 2. In chapter 7, Samael and his forces are stated to be under the first firmament, a view that does not accord with his position as the chief of the devils. Samael is mentioned among the quote unquote angels of judgment in the, how to pronounce this, Sibyling oracles, 2 verse 215. In the Tanaitic and Amoric period, Samael is mentioned as being outside the alignment of the host of Merkabah. Drawing from Jewish tradition, several Gnostic works refer to Samael as quote unquote the blind god and as identical with Jaldabaoth, who occupy an important place in Gnostic speculation as one of, or the leader of, the forces of evil. This tradition apparently came down through the Orphites, the worshippers of the snake, a Jewish syncretic sect. Okay, so on and so forth. And it only gets worse, y'all. All right, Samael for Satan, acknowledging his blindness, he is mentioned as head of the devils in the magical testament of Solomon, which is essentially a superficial Christian adaptation of a demon as a demonological Jewish text from this period. On and on and on and on. Undoubtedly, Samael, quote unquote, the demon in charge of blindness, mentioned in Mandean works, so on and so forth. I'm gonna leave it at that. Oh, wait, I gotta continue. I'm gonna show y'all this one. In rabbinic rather tradition, the first name occurs in the statements of Yos that during the exodus from Egypt, Michael and Samael stood before the Shekinah. Let me say it again. In rabbinic tradition, the name first occurs in the statements of Yos that during the Exodus from Egypt, quote, Michael and Samael stood before the Shekinah, end quote, apparently as prosecutor, that's adversary, right? Accuser and defender. Their task is similar to that of Samael and Gabriel. In modern English, that's Gabriel, right? Archangel Gabriel. In the story of Tamar. All right. He continues. In the statement of Eleazar, Samael retains the role of prosecutor in the account of Hama, who was apparently the first to identify Samael with Esau's guardian angel during the struggle between Jacob and the angel. Wow. And y'all, it just gets worse and worse. So let me show you the rabbinic tradition and then we're going to keep going, okay, y'all? Now remember, we're going through this because Christianity and Judaism are associated with Aries. And Mars is a strong house of Aries. Okay, y'all? Period. Mars is war. Okay? Mars is war. Okay, now he continues. What does this say? The print quality is not so good on this page, y'all. It's a bit difficult to read. In conception, Mars governeth the third month. The third, so everything is third, right? The name of his angel is Samael. He has for a friend only Venus. And as he, when ill dignified, that's when Mars is ill dignified, quarrels with his best friend. So he's quarreling with Venus when Mars is ill dignified. So Mars is the greatest ravisher of Venus. Wow, so Mars is hurting his own friend Venus. He's the worst toward Venus, for which martial men are notorious. In other words, you can't trust them, right? They ain't no friendship, they'll hurt you. He that hath Mars and Venus in any aspect at birth will certainly have a love affair, either good or evil, about the 19th year of life, or age of Mars, discretionary period, which is a little short of 19 years, and an apt time for marriage or age. Wow. MAR hyphen AGE, marriage. MARRIAGE. Is that marriage spelled right? Let me show y'all this. So, marriage, 19 years old, 1892 and before. Y'all see that? Marriage, age. Wow. Now, I tell y'all, I did not know that one. This is new to me. No wonder marriage is like war. But let's make the distinction today. Marriage involves a third party, which is a corporate, a corporate entity. Yeah, that's like war. But in ancient times, of course, marriage was not the case. A man and a woman would come together. Okay, they would come together, and I wish I could remember the sister's name. I don't remember her name as of right now, but it'll come to me, y'all. But she mentions that the quote unquote black women prior to colonization and Christianization never had a problem with the man, with their consort, or connotatively speaking, their husband, having more than one wife, more than one woman, more than one consort. According to her, she says that the quote unquote black woman never knew anything about jealousy, never knew anything about envy. These were things that they learned from the colonizers, from the hybrids. So it was never an issue. It was accepted, and they were happy. Everybody was happy. Intact house, intact household, intact tent. The man and all of his consorts. Or some people would say matrimony. But now that you got these corporate nation states in it, Christian, Islamic, now marriage is war. More so with Christian. I can't really speak on the Islamic side because I don't live in an Islamic country. I've never experienced it, right? But I know in Christian countries, I don't care where you go, marriage is war. All right? There's no peace. And especially in North America, right? Especially in North America, okay? But everybody knows that, so I ain't gonna spend much time talking about that. So make the distinction, okay? Make the cultural distinction. Okay, so let's continue. So I feel good because I learned something today about this marriage. Marriage is actually mar age, MAR hyphen AGE. Okay, that's really marriage. About 19 years old, a man and a woman come together. All right. Anyway, let's continue. All right. So, in an apt time for edge or marriage, MAR hyphen AGE or MARRIAGE. There's your astrology remixed, y'all. Hidden from you. They know you wouldn't want anything to do with that if you knew it involved Mars. If you knew anything about astrology, you wouldn't want anything to do with the marriage. So they hid it from you. Right? You went to the church, got married. You didn't know that the corporate government, through that marriage license, took ownership of whatever heirs you might have and whatever property you might generate while you're during the term of that marriage license. You didn't know that. Well, it's war. War can be what? Hot, physical. War can be psychological, and war can be financial. You don't believe me? Well, think about this tool they use called sanctions to punish countries or to punish people. Freeze your bank accounts. Sanctions, warfare. All right. That's why they're forming. That's why they form BRICS. Going back to the gold standard, right? Because the U.S. corporation and its affiliates, partners, and agents, they're using the fiat system, or they weaponize the fiat system. Okay, war, economic or financial warfare. All right, Mars is war. Okay. All right, so there y'all have it. If you don't got enough sense to get out of your marriage after hearing that, I don't know what to tell you. Of course, when I say get out of your marriage, I don't mean in your relationship. I mean get rid of that contract. Get rid of that contract. Okay, y'all, you don't need it. It's unnatural. Return to the Most High. Live your life according to the principles of our ancient foremothers and forefathers. I guarantee you, Adam and Eve they didn't have a marriage license. Neither did Joseph and Mary. Okay? The Eschuan sun is represented by the character, the circle, and in the center of the circle, a dot. So y'all see the symbol? I'm pointing to it with my finger here. This is the Eschuan sun. So the Eschuan sun is represented by the character that I just showed you. He was called that he is the sun. He was called by the ancient Osiris. The Eschuan sun was called by the ancients. So the ancients called the Eschuan sun Osiris, Ra, Bel, Bel. So that would be also Bal, right? Brahm, Abram, Jah, Baal or Baal, Aum, Sol, Sol, Sol in Latin, right? And the Lord of hosts. Y'all got that? Our ancient ancestors called the Sun Osiris, Ra, Bel, Brahm, Abram, Jah. It would have actually y'all been what? Yah, because they're, but anyway, that's another story. So Jah or Yah, Baal or Baal, Aum, Sol, Sol in Latin, and the Lord of hosts. The host would be the heavenly bodies, right? When the sun is well aspected of the moon, it is a time for favorable, it is a time favorable for all matters relating to all persons in authority, for all governments, town, city, county, state, kingdom, or province, or matters of general government, and heads of department. Did y'all hear that? When the sun is well aspected to the moon, it is a time favorable for all matters relating to all persons in authority. It's favorable to the elites, for all governments, town, city, county, etc. Okay, he rules over and represents all kings, emperors, earls, dukes, noblemen, presidents, y'all, automatically you should know that that's corporations, and generals in command, viceroys, mayors, those highest in authority in all matters. If for armies, the general, the brigade, the brigade, the brigade general. For the regiment, the colonel, a company, the captain, and so on. For railroads or companies or corporations, the president. I told y'all. The SUN sun is invariably the ruler. When combined in good aspects as a trine or a sextile with any planet ruling over the matter elected or person described, it is the SUN sun, produces or promotes success. And if he presents a good aspect to the moon, it will produce the granting of favors for the asking. The SUN sun rules over gold mines, over quote unquote myrrh, frankincense, and alloys, end quote, over amber and golden and bright yellow stones and flowers. So that would mean the precious, healing dandelion as one of those flowers. Over yellowed haired persons, wow. Over blonde haired people. Y'all, I would have to disagree with that because blonde hair people, the blonde hair is a result of lack of pigmentation, or in other words, lack of melanin. And lack of melanin is never useful, right? The albino, the albino, the albino beings of any species tend to be more warlike, more violent, etc. Right? And of course, they will. But anyway, that's enough of that. Everybody probably knows that already. Okay, but a deep sea creature where there's no sunlight, of course, being lacking pigmentation would be normal, right? Because you don't need it. It's in the deep dark sea. You don't need that. Okay, so it would need to have no pigmentation or very little pigmentation, if any at all, so that it could absorb whatever sunlight that may make it there. The other part of that is that it doesn't need to block the sun, so it doesn't need the melanin, right? It doesn't need to block the sun. It's dark. Okay, y'all? Anyway, so there's no need for it. In the design, not evolution, in the design. Anyway, let's continue. Mm, okay. So the sun rules over gold mines. I read that already. The sun rules over amber and golden and bright yellow stones and flowers. The dandelion, y'all, is an amazing plant. Y'all should get you some. And over yellow or blonde haired people, persons rather, over the first hour of Sunday. So he is the image of the Father. The Son is the image of the Father, the Lord of hosts, and through him is life. Through the SUN Son is life. Let the sun not come up. Okay? Life is not possible without the SUN Son every day. Okay? So that's a literal statement. Through the sun, life is possible. The Escheat sun is from all time, and all time is from the sun. Absolutely, right? All time is from the sun, because time is reckoned by what? The movement of the heavenly bodies in relation to one another. Okay? All right. So he, that's talking about the Escheat sun, he is from all time, and all time is from him. In other words, the sun has no beginning of time. All right. And through the sun, I'm sorry, and through him is life. Through the Escheat sun is life. He is from all time, and all time is from him, and will be until time is no longer. From him, from the Escheat sun, all time is calculated by one perfect and immutable law. Of course, he's talking about natural law. In in uh, in nature, we would call it what? Nature's God, nature's law, and nature's God, and we see that in the Declaration of Independence. Okay, the sun's greatest strength is from the sign Leo, the Lion of Judah. All right, y'all. How long we've been going? We've been going for a while. So let's pause here. Let's pick it up on page 154 next time, y'all. All right, so thanks for joining me. I hope y'all learned something. It's not my intention to be entertaining at all. My intention is to educate. That's the first priority, educate. Assalamu alaikum, Islam to all the Moors. Remember, if you have not subscribed, subscribe. If you haven't liked the video, like the video. Okay, if you haven't shared it, shared it. Don't come in here eating up all the food, drinking up all the coffee, and not participating, okay? Cheers. Assalamu alaikum, Islam to all the Moors. Shalom.